today has affirmed the judgment of the Federal High Court. So what it means is that whatever they did, that convention, the state congress they organized, the national convention they organized, the court has just nullified it. So the implication is that as it is today, whatever
Court
decision
has
that
nullified.
convention has taken, it's a nullity. So in other words, I don't want to put it out, but it appears that as of today, as of this moment, ADC doesn't have any presidential candidates. So, but I know they are going to appeal it to the Supreme Court. So we'll also test the law there.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. A whole lot they happen right now. As it stands now, ADC is facing one or two right now. It's this happening based on what is happening. Every minute, every now and then, one court case or the other. Even as I greet good morning, good afternoon, good evening, some people now will be asking me, is there anything good about the morning? Is there anything good about the afternoon or even the evening? Based on what is currently happening in the ADC political party. Now, let it not be as if Nami they talk. Let me read from the Vanguard newspaper. Let me read. Yeah, they say in a split decision of 2-1, the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja yesterday affirmed the judgment restraining the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) from recognizing or participating in any state congresses organized by committees appointed by the Senator David Mark-led caretaker leadership of African Democratic Congress (ADC). What's going on? My people, what's really going on? From one court case to the other. Yeah. They say, but the party, in a swift reaction, insisted the judgment does not affect candidates produced through the party's direct primaries. What they're trying to say is, everybody calm down, because tension is very high. Some people are already saying, it is going to affect the presidential candidate of the ADC. It is going to affect the vice presidential candidate. Say he might not be on the ballot. Is that true? Is that true that with all these things that is happening, it might affect the presidential candidate called Atiku from being on the ballot in 2027? Is that true? We all should try to verify the claims. I go on to read. It said, efforts to get INEC's reaction to the judgment at press time, however, proved abortive as telephone calls and messages sent to the spokesman of the commission were not replied. However, they said a 3-member panel of the appellate court, in a lead verdict delivered by Justice Okon Abang, said it found no reason to set aside the restraining order the Federal High Court in Abuja had issued against the Mark-led ADC on April 29th. That means this tussle has been for a long time. They're like, it further upheld the order of trial Justice Judge Abdul Malik, which restrained the Mark-led executives from interfering with the tenure and functions of the party's elected state executives. They said the appellate court concurred that the responsibility for conducting state congresses of political parties rested with elected state executive committees, not with the national leadership. You see where the problem is? State and national. They never align very well. There is a problem. ADC, they need to get these things right too. If not, it's a big problem. But I don't know how all these things just came up. Like, from one problem to the other. I don't understand. Could this be the reason why people will be moved This could be the reason. He has seen that there is a whole lot of unanswered questions. There is a whole lot of unresolved issues in the party. That was why he moved. And some people will be somewhere saying, P2B is not man enough to stay and face crisis. With this kind of thing that is happening, even in the NDC that he went to serve, they are still trying to dig out one or two things that we put problem with. Let me play what one of the lawyers said. Let me play it.
They has affirmed the judgment of the Federal High Court. So what it means is that whatever they did, that convention, the state congress they organized, the national convention they organized, the court has just nullified it. So the implication is that as it is today, whatever decision that convention has taken, it's a nullity. So in other words, I don't want to put it out, but it appears that as of today, as of this moment, ADC doesn't have any presidential candidate. So, but I know they are going to appeal it to the Supreme Court. So we'll also test the law there.
Did you hear what he said? I'm still wondering. Let it not be true. Because a man can't spend all the money in trying to, contest, and you're telling him that he cannot be in the ballot. Well, let me break it down. Let me break some certain things down so that you understand what this implies. Let me break some certain things down for you all. Then I'll also play some videos of what some few lawyers said about this matter. This court ruling, means that the Court of Appeal has upheld an earlier federal high court order stopping the independent National Electoral Commission from recognizing state congresses organized by committees appointed by the caretaker leadership of the African Democratic Congress led by former Senate President David Mark. Now, what happened? I just want to tell you what happened. There is an internal leadership dispute within the ADC. A faction led by David Mark is acting as the party's caretaker leadership. Then another faction argues that the elected state executive committee remain the lawful party officials until their tenure ends or valid congresses are held. That is the agitation. Now, the Federal High Court had earlier ruled that the caretaker committee did not have the authority to appoint committees to conduct state congresses. The Court of Appeal has now agreed with that ruling. Now, I want to say something. What does INEC cannot recognize the congresses mean? It means that for now, INEC cannot treat those congresses as valid. Any state executive or officials produced through those congresses cannot be officially recognized by INEC. The congresses conducted by the Mark-led caretaker committee were declared invalid because the court said they were held despite an existing court order. Now, another question is, does this affect the entire ADC? Not necessarily. The judgment primarily concerns the legality of the state congresses organized by the caretaker committee and the party's internal leadership disputes. It does not dissolve the ADC as a political party. However, it could complicate the party's preparations for future elections unless the leadership dispute is resolved or a higher court overturns the ruling. The Mark-led faction has indicated it will challenge the decision at the Supreme Court. That means if the Supreme Court can rule in favor of the factions, wahala don dey o. But if they rule in favor of the David Mark-led team, then they game. Oh man, the road to this 2027, it's very interesting. It's a whole lot of drama. A whole lot of drama is just going on. A whole lot of drama is building up. Oh my calabush. But let me just play a little video of what some lawyers are saying as regards to this matter. Then I would like to get your own comments in the comment section. Tell me, what's your opinion? What do you think? Some people are saying if this thing continues like this, Atiku might not be on the ballot. Is it possible? Or what do you think? I want to see your opinion in the comment section. But please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you can get more updates from this channel. Now watch.
Judiciary through the statement written by Mr. Frank Shabu, the Senior Special Assistant on Public Communication to Atiku Abubakar. He says, quote, "We remain respectful of the judiciary and have already instructed our legal team to approach the Supreme Court for a definitive determination of the issues arising from the judgment. That is the proper constitutional path, and we have absolute confidence in the judiciary process. Let no supporter of the ADC lose sleep. Let no Nigerian who believes in the restoration of our country be discouraged. The struggle to rescue Nigeria has never been about one courtroom or one judgment. It is a movement born out of the collective desire of millions of Nigerians for competent leadership, economic recovery, national unity, and the restoration of hope." End of quote. So fundamentally, there are those who are afraid that this has a consequential effect on the chances of the party at the poll and the running of the affairs of the party as led by Senator David Mark.
Are not informed, but those who are informed are not disturbed.
Let me allow you to.
And I don't think there's any tension with the leadership of the party under the distinguished Senator David Mark, and it has nothing to do with the primaries conducted by ADC. It solely has to do with the state's Congress. And the primaries conducted by ADC is direct primaries. It wasn't indirect primaries that the state Congress would be involved. It wasn't by consensus across the board. Across the board, ADC conducted direct primaries. And the power to conduct primaries, whether direct, indirect, or consensus, belongs to the National Working Committee. And this case has nothing to do with the leadership of the National Working Committee. It has nothing to do with the leadership of ADC at the national level. So there's nothing to panic about. There's no tension at all. I think you should not even read it, meaning into it that this statement is meant to douse tension. It is meant to clarify issues and make those who are not informed to be informed.
This is a loss to the David Mark leadership, isn't it?
Not at all. Not at all. So there is nowhere in the judgment of Justice Joyce Abdul-Malik,
the trial court,
at the trial court, that touched on the leadership of David Mark. The matter bordered solely on the congresses conducted by David Mark at the level, not on the leadership of David Mark. So when people say the court bars or directed INEC to derecognize David Mark led the executive, there is no such pronouncement by the trial court and the Court of Appeal today. There is none. So it has nothing to do with the leadership of David Mark. It's only bordered on the congresses conducted by David Mark at the state level.
So tell us, the party at the leadership of the party, which is David Mark at the national level, has a right to superintend over the congresses at the state. Is that right?
Sure.
They set a panel to go and conduct those congresses. Sure. But the grievances of those who went to court, who took this matter to court, is that INEC should not recognize or INEC should not monitor as though they think that the congresses as it was conducted at the time was illegal and there was a breach.
No, that was
the contention.
That was their contention at the trial court, which was affirmed by Honorable Justice Abdul Malik, which was erroneously made, because Justice Abdul Malik wrongly interpreted the provisions of the constitutions of ADC and gave exclusive powers to states ESCO or the state SWC as the organ of the party that has the powers to conduct state congresses. Beshew, you are a journalist. You can read and you can write. Please, after today's program, look for the constitution of ADC and see whether there is any provision in the constitution of ADC that empowers the state working committee or the state ESCO the powers to conduct state congresses, so that you can come back to this station and then enlighten Nigerians on the express provisions of the constitution of ADC.
So you are faulting the decision of Justice Joyce, and the appellate court has upheld the decision of Justice Joyce Abdul Malik, and you said that on those two instances the courts were wrong.
So I said on this program that there is no provision in the constitution of ADC that empowers the state working committee or the state executive committee the powers to conduct state congresses. There is no provision at all. At best, what the constitution of the ADC provides, the powers given to the state working committee or the state ESCO, is the power to prepare agenda. I don't know, you just listen, to prepare agenda for state congresses. There is no such provision that empowers the state working committee or the state ESCO of the party to conduct state congresses. Let me ask you, because you are well versed in the activities of INEC. If a court says it is the powers of the state congress or of the state working committee or the state ESCO of a party to conduct state congresses, who communicates to INEC? Is it the state chairman or the national chairman and national secretary of the party?
All right. Give me a moment.
Before you